Good evening. This is All India Radio, Kohima. I'm Jonas Yantan with Evening News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says more than 3 crore poor families became lakhpatis with PMAY housing scheme. Deputy Chief Minister Y Patton says Cabinet Subcommittee draft report for reservation policy to be submitted to the State Cabinet. United Democratic Alliance adopts 4-point resolutions, resolves to play an active facilitator towards the peace process. And Health Minister Mansukh Mandaviya releases UNICEF's publication, The State of the World's Children 2021. As the nationwide free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years is going on, we advise our young listeners to get vaccinated and also help others get vaccinated. We also advise our listeners not to lower the guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 6 feet for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075 and state helpline number 1800-345-0019. And now the news. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today said that more than 3 crore poor families in the country became lakhpatis with Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana PMAY housing scheme only, and more than 1 lakh crore rupees have been transferred into the accounts of beneficiaries of housing schemes being run by his government. The Prime Minister was speaking at the inauguration function of the new Urban India Transforming Urban Landscape Conference cum Expo at Lucknow in Uttar Pradesh. Modi said that the 21st century India will move with the power of multimodal connectivity, and many schemes and infrastructure projects run by the central government are giving thrust to urban development and generating employment in the country. On the occasion, the Prime Minister launched 75 urban projects for Uttar Pradesh. The Prime Minister handed over the keys of Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana urban houses to 75,000 beneficiaries digitally in 75 districts of the state and also interacted with the beneficiaries of the scheme. Deputy Chief Minister Y Patton has said that a Cabinet Subcommittee working group for reservation policy has been dissolved and that a draft report, the Cabinet Subcommittee for Reservation Policy on NSSP and NPSC, will be submitted to the State Cabinet for its approval. Addressing some section of media persons at Kohima today, Patton said the meeting held between the Cabinet Subcommittee and the nominated representatives from the civil society today at Kohima concluded in a positive note, wherein all members had agreed to the draft report and a final decision will be made by the Cabinet. He informed that the matter will be taken up in the next Cabinet meeting. On the meeting of United Democratic Alliance, namely NTPP, BJP and NPF held today, Patton said, being its first meeting today, there was not much deliberation. He said discussions were held among the members to remain opposition-less government under UDA government and urged the central government, the 7 NNPGs and the NSNIM for early settlement of the Naga political issue. On the by-election, Patton said BJP, being an alliance with NTPP, will support a candidate fielded by the NTPP. On the issue of the shifting of DC office to Jumukedima, the Deputy Chief Minister clarified that in the last Cabinet meeting, it had not finalized the shifting of Dimapur Deputy Commissioner's office. In this, he said, the Chief Secretary will issue a corrigendum tomorrow. Patton said the 10th August Cabinet meeting had decided to relocate only the ADC and the Sub-Treasury Office to the new complex, Jumukedima. The United Democratic Alliance UDA government has adopted 4-point resolutions during its meeting held today at the Chief Minister's residential complex. The resolutions of the House appreciated the serious commitment of the Government of India towards the Indo-Naga peace process and welcomed the positive steps taken by the Government of India on matters related to the ongoing Indo-Naga political dialogue, which include the appointment of a single person as interlocutor with all the negotiating parties. The House appreciated a resumption of talks and the decision of the Naga political groups to resume the peace process by proceeding to New Delhi for continuation of the negotiation process. While acknowledging the desire and feeling of the Naga people, the House upheld the resolutions of the civil societies, the Nagaland Legislative Assembly, and a series of consultative meetings, and appealed the negotiating parties to respond to the cry of the people and bring the protracted Indo-Naga political issue to its logical conclusion at the earliest possible. The UDA further resolved to make every possible effort to play the role of an active facilitator towards the peace process in the ongoing negotiations, and appealed all sections to continue to work towards unity, reconciliation, and oneness in order to prepare a positive landing ground for the long-awaited solution. This news comes to you from All India Radio, Kohima. You can also listen to this news bulletin on a YouTube channel, AIR News Kohima. Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandaviya has expressed serious concern that 14% children across the world are affected with mental health problem. Releasing the UNICEF report on mental health today through video conferencing, Mandaviya said, "If we ignore mental treatment, then a healthy society cannot be built." The report said the COVID-19 pandemic has exacerbated the risk of mental health conditions in an entire generation. It has left a lasting impact on children and young people's mental health around the world. According to findings from an early 2021 global survey conducted by UNICEF among 20,000 children and adults in 21 countries, 1 in 5 young people said they experienced mental health issues. It said protective factors such as loving caregivers, safe school environment, and positive peer relationships can help reduce the risk of mental health. Over 91 crore 54 lakh COVID vaccine doses have been administered so far on the nationwide vaccination drive. A total of 18,346 new cases were reported in the last 24 hours. Active cases account for less than 1% of the total cases and are lowest since March last year. India's active caseload stands at 2,52,902, which is lowest in 201 days. The recovery rate is currently at 97.93%. Vice-Chancellor of Nagaland University, Professor Pardeshi Lal, has directed for resumption of offline campus academic activities for Lumami headquarters. A TIPR report stated that the decision was taken during a meeting held with the Vice-Chancellor, Registrar, all Deans of Schools, Dean of Students' Welfare, Heads of Departments and Wardens on 27 September. It said offline classes for third semester students would begin with effect from 18th of October, wherein students should arrive at a campus or hostels during 15th and 16th of October. Arrival of first semester students to the campus will begin on 1st of November after allotment of hostel seats. Students arriving in the campus should possess negative test report for COVID-19 or rapid antigen test done 48 hours before arrival or RT-PCR test done 72 hours before arrival. In addition, the University Centre will arrange preliminary health checkup of all students arriving in the campus. Besides, thermal scanning facility will be provided in all academic departments. Nagaland today reported 20 fresh positive COVID-19, today taking the total confirmed cases to 31,342. Kohima registered 10 new positive cases, Dimapur with 8, and 1 each from Pek and Woka. On the other hand, 18 infected people have also recovered from the disease, of which 9 were from Kohima, 5 from Dimapur, and 2 each from Kifre and Mukukchung. Total recovered cases now stand at 29,358. Report of no death has kept the tally of COVID casualties at 651. And now 20 news, here are the main points again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says more than 3 crore poor families became lakhpatis with PMAY housing scheme. Deputy Chief Minister Y Patton says Cabinet Subcommittee draft report for reservation policy to be submitted to the State Cabinet. United Democratic Alliance adopts 4-point resolutions, resolves to play an active facilitator towards the peace process. And Health Minister Mandaviya Mandaviya releases UNICEF's publication, The State of the World's Children 2021. That is all we have in this evening news bulletin. Good night.